Hello wildflowers, and welcome back to The Rambling Rose, a series where I invite you to join me, an Australian artist, author and cottage witch, as I paint the pages of my new book, create an enchanted garden and attempt to live my best wild, creative and altogether magical life. Here in the Southern Hemisphere, spring is in full swing, and as we approach the pagan Sabbath of Beltane, roses are blooming and birds are singing, heralding the busiest season for any garden fairy. It is a time for planting seeds of happiness, hope, success and love, making blueprints with our imaginations and dreaming big, setting our sights on a glorious summer harvest. One of my favourite cards from the Earth Spirit Oracle is that of abundance. Just as the humble veggie garden overflows with nature's bounty, this card seeks to share the secrets of true and limitless abundance. And so, in this episode, we'll be focusing on abundance, building a cottage kitchen garden to grow my favourite Mediterranean vegetables, edible flowers, and magical herbs. When I first moved to Belladonna Cottage just 6 months ago, I knew I'd have my work cut out for me, getting a whole new garden ready by summer. Little did I know, help was on the way. My guides, moving in the unseen, sent the perfect companion flower for this little rose. Ta-da! A hero has arrived! And suddenly we're a team of two, ready to begin on building a dream. Once, when we lived far, far apart, Mr. Rose and I would read each other bedtime stories, and today we've chosen our very favourite one to enjoy under the shade of a magnolia tree, dreaming of all we'll build together. Let's just say we're both very much in tune with our inner child.
That's definitely yours. It goes right here. And I don't know, I think that's mine, and I think this could be both. I mean, that's definitely yours. Yeah. That's our toolbox, and that's definitely you.
Watch your fingers! We two are big dreamers and even bigger manifestors, with a pretty powerful team of guides, I reckon. And so we're making plans and joining forces, both so excited to see what we can create together in this little heritage house by the sea. There are always lots of giggles, and me being a bossy little garden goblin, but Mr. Rose doesn't seem to mind. In fact, I'm sure he kind of likes it. Let's get started with a garden brainstorming session, gathering up our favourite permaculture and homesteading books for inspiration, doing a site analysis considering sun and soil, and making a vision board on Pinterest, where I got quite obsessed with the idea of black garden beds. Next, we flicked through some garden catalogues to select our future harvest and worked out where the kitchen garden would fit into the master plan of our dream cottage garden.
Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond.
Of course, I had to document the seedlings chosen in my trusty fairy garden journal, or green grimoire if you fancy, where I jot down all my garden goals and observations as the seasons turn. And once these two big kids were done colouring in and were happy with the master plan, it was time to start measuring up. For my first growing season at Belladonna Cottage, I really had to scale down my vision from my previous home, where I had established 13 different beds for various crops. With dreams of becoming fully self-sufficient and no idea I would ever move, I went all in. After 4 years, that garden was truly overflowing with abundance. I felt intimately connected with the plant spirits there, having raised many of them from seed and watching the fruit trees grow over the years. But as Monty Don says, a garden is not a place, it's a journey. And so, midway between the spring equinox and summer solstice, we too are going to have to get a wiggle on, as they say in Australia, and start with just 4 humble garden beds. 1 for my magical herbs and 3 for my very favourite summer veggies, the ones I use most in my kitchen witchery. We started by laying out some timber to measure up where the beds would go, and then I let Mr. Rose get creative with a little sacred geometry and power tools, channeling his Aztec ancestors for inspiration as he made my vision come to life.
Why so hard? I think life's all about me, and it's hardly even snow, but I stay inside like it's the ice age.
It was a bit tricky to build level garden beds on a sloping ground, but with a little bit of think, and Dad's trusty nail gun, we managed to figure out a solution.
But I didn't really do my best, breaking down my neck, and it's me to blame.
Help me, I need a good advice. Please don't say no. Be my hero.
While one dream is materialising, let's get back into another. I know it's been a spell since I shared my passion project, Wild Faerie Magick, a seasonal activity book for lovers of the living world, wildlings, witches, garden goblins and flower fairies. You know who I'm talking about, wildflowers. After all, one of my goals for this channel was to document the process of this 180-page illustrated book coming to life. This belongs in the spring chapter of the book. It's a simple prompt for the reader to get growing. After all, there's a wild magic in the veggie garden. It's a place where you can really feel the earth spirit flowing, with your hands in the soil and the grass between your toes.
Take a look around you, everything's brighter, can you see? And don't look down now, let's just be here, you and me. This wonderland, it belongs to us, you will see. I'm flying so high off the ground, I'm way up here, and I just can't come down, no, from here. Everywhere we go, we feel so alive, we fly so high, so high.
Well, what do you think, wildflowers? I reckon it's looking pretty gorgeous out there, don't you? Let's keep him. These baby veggie seedlings are going to love their new home in our enchanted cottage kitchen garden. You know, we even collected some crystals to plant beside them, along with some pretty companion flowers, so I think the fairies will be thrilled. This is easily one of my favourite parts, getting my hands dirty, whispering spells of encouragement, and visualising a jungle of juicy abundance as I tuck my plant babies into bed. We also used some of that magical, super funky green fertiliser from my Working Bee episode to give these plants a nutrient boost and see them reaching for the heavens in record time. I'll share the garden map, dimensions and tips on building the beds, and even a list of what we planted with my beautiful patrons on Patreon, because we really couldn't do this without you. And if you have any other questions over there about the kitchen garden design or anything else, please let us know. It feels really special to be recreating a magical space for all my wild green crafts, recipes, potions and lotions, and other activities to share on this channel and in my book. There's just so much scope for the imagination, as Anne Shirley would say, in a wild green wonderland. Well, that's a wrap on the kitchen garden project. Can you guess what we're going to tackle next? Here's a hint. It will involve lots and lots of flowers. I so hope you enjoyed spending time in the garden with us today. And even though I know many of you on the other side of the world are putting your garden dreams aside for the winter, we'd love for you to share in ours. Here in the far east wilderness of Australia, the Wild Faerie Magick is awakening, and summer is just around the corner. Yeep! I'm so happy!
Now we're painting. Just choose this green, it looks pretty good.
If you're enjoying these whimsical little films of mine, there are lots of ways you can help keep this channel alive. You can join me and a growing community of kindred spirits over on Patreon, where you'll have access to exclusive content, free printables and other goodies. Plus, this month in our mystical book club, we are reading The Healing Power of Trees. I can't wait to discuss this gem with you all. And if you'd like a copy of my new colouring book, Wildflower Dreams, or the Earth Spirit Oracle, you'll find them in my online store, along with art, spirit paintings, pet portraits and more. Your support means the world to me. With your comments and ideas, emails and photos, you all inspire and encourage me to keep on creating and make all of this possible. So thank you so very much, sweet friends. I simply couldn't do it without you. Until next time, beautiful wildflowers, may you be blessed by the fairies, whatever the season. May your dreams come true, your inner child be ever delighted, and your imaginations run wild. Oh, and I almost forgot. May true love find you, no matter how goofy and weird you can be.